My wife Marta stood in our living room on a Tuesday and said, "Real men don't care if their wife parties all night with her boss." I set my bourbon down and said, "Then find yourself a real man." Silence. Even our teenagers heard it from the kitchen. Harper, 15, called out, "Dad, that's savage." Logan, 17, added, "Mom, that's cold." Marta grabbed her phone and slammed the bedroom door. I sat there with my glass and realized I'd reached the end of pretending everything was fine. For months, she'd brushed off late nights as team building and networking. I work in finance. I know what numbers add up, and these didn't. I was done being the punchline in my own house. I started planning my exit. The job 3 months earlier, a San Diego tech company had reached out, senior finance director. Bigger title, bigger salary, real growth. When I told Marta, she laughed. Not a nervous laugh, a full belly laugh. "You'll never get that. It's too competitive," she said. "Harvard, Stanford, those are your competition. Be realistic." Then she rotated through her reasons. Too young. Actually, too old. Not connected enough, too. Whatever, I applied anyway. I rewrote my resume until it shined, drilled interviews in the bathroom mirror, and called in references. While I worked, Marta did team mixers that somehow ran to 1 a.m. and required cocktail dresses and expensive perfume. The interviews went well. Then the call came. "We want to fast-track you to offer." I kept it cool on the phone, but inside I felt 10 feet tall. When I told Marta, she said, "Let's not count our chickens." No congratulations. Just a warning not to hope. That Tuesday morning, the same day as the Real Men line, she walked in at 6:15 a.m. wearing last night's clothes. She pasted on a smile. "Early run to celebrate the Morrison account," she said. "Crashes at Emily's, safer than driving tired." There was a mark on her neck. She called it a bug bite. In February, in an office. I poured coffee and said, "You've got something on your neck." "Teenagers notice everything," she froze. Then she doubled down. "It's nothing." Right then I understood. She wasn't afraid I'd fail my interview. She was afraid I'd succeed. If I got that job, her convenient husband might not be so convenient anymore. "The interviews are next week," I said. "They're flying me first class." She tried to smile. It came out wrong. The kids' Friday night, I was making spaghetti carbonara. Harper hopped onto the counter. "We need to talk about Mom," she said, as calmly as if she were asking about homework. She and Logan had been paying attention. Perfume at 6 a.m. The phone glued to Marta's hand, even in the bath. New passcode. Too many late-night mixers. Logan joined and said, "We did a quick stakeout." They'd followed Marta to a bar called Verve. She met her boss, Greg. Cozy booth. Hand on arm, hair touching. The kids left after 20 minutes because it made them sick. I turned off the stove and hugged them both. "Thank you," I said. "For telling me? For having my back." "What are you going to do?" Logan asked. "I'm going to ace that San Diego interview," I said. "Then I'll figure out the rest." "Does the rest include divorce?" Harper asked. I took a breath. "Probably," they nodded. They'd already chosen a side, and it was mine. The offer. The San Diego trip was a blur of meetings with the CFO, CEO, and the team. The company felt different. Grown-ups who respected each other and expected great work. They gave me the offer. Strong base, bonus, relocation, the works. My future assistant, Tessa, moved like a chess grandmaster. "You'll be set up to win," she said, and I believed her. Before I flew back, the hiring manager showed me a corporate apartment, a penthouse downtown with floor-to-ceiling windows and an ocean view. "The balcony alone sold me. I'll take it," I said. And I meant the whole thing, the job, the city, the fresh start. That evening, Marta texted, "Come home tonight." I sent back a photo of the view. The confrontation, I went home to talk like adults. She started with, "We need to discuss your behavior this week." "My behavior?" I said. "We're going to discuss what happens next." I told her, "I'm moving to San Diego in 2 weeks. The kids are coming with me." She could keep the house and most of the furniture. I'd be fair on money. In exchange, no custody fight. "You can't take my children," she said. "Our children," I corrected. "They're old enough to choose. And they choose me." I showed her the group chat where Harper had already asked which room faced the ocean. Logan had called dibs on the better view. Then I put down the receipts. Nothing dramatic, just facts. Timelines, screenshots, photos of her car at Greg's condo at 2 a.m. I didn't shout. I didn't insult. I just showed her what I knew. If you fight me, I said quietly, HR at your company will see this. So will Greg's boss. Let's not do that. Her face went white. You wouldn't. Try me, I said. I'm sleeping in the guest room. You've got until Monday to decide if this is easy or hard. Upstairs, my kids were waiting like sentries. Harper high-fived me. Logan said, she deserved that. I didn't celebrate. I just slept. Monday, her lawyer called mine. No fight, quick divorce. Clean split. She kept the house. I kept the kids. The move 2 weeks later, we were in the penthouse. Harper and Logan raced to choose rooms. We stood on the balcony watching the sun fall into the Pacific. Harper grinned. Mom's going to hate this view. I grinned back. Even better reason to enjoy it. I started the new job. My team was sharp. Tessa made my days run like a clock. The work was demanding, and this was new, energizing. I didn't drag myself out of bed anymore. I got up ready. The kids settled fast. Harper landed a lead in the school musical. Logan made varsity basketball and picked up interest from colleges. Our small rituals formed. Pancakes on Saturdays, sunset check-ins on the balcony, terrible dad jokes that earned me groans, and, if I was lucky, half a smile. One morning, my neighbor back home, Pete, texted, "Your wife just pulled into Greg's driveway." Another time, "Olive Garden date. She's acting like it's Nobu." I laughed. Not cruelly, just done. Then my assistant Tessa called with background she'd dug up, all public record. Greg was twice divorced after affairs with subordinates. The Porsche was leased. His company, Henderson & Associates, was bleeding money. 6 months from bankruptcy, Tessa said. He knows it. I didn't text Marta. I didn't gloat. Life tends to teach its own lessons. Weeks later, Pete again. Chapter 11 filed. Greg laid off. Porsche repossessed. Marta demoted. I waited for the wave of satisfaction. It didn't come. I felt relief I wasn't part of it. Harper wandered into the kitchen and stole bacon. "How long before they break up?" she asked. She and Logan had a friendly bet. The therapist said humor was okay. I chose to believe her. I told them, not our problem, and it wasn't. Clean lines, Marta texted from an unknown number. "We need to talk." I blocked it. Another number. "You'll regret this. Choosing your career over your family." I looked at the ocean, at my kids laughing in the next room, at a life built on respect and truth instead of spin. I typed back, already regretting not buying better wine to celebrate, and blocked that number too. We weren't cruel. We were clear. I'd set up fair support even with the kids with me. I didn't want courtroom battles. I wanted peace. The kids noticed. One night Logan said, "You're actually happy now." Harper added, "You smile more. You're the person you were supposed to be before Mom spent years telling you you weren't good enough," out of the mouths of teenagers. What I learned, here's what the last year taught me. Respect is not optional. If your partner treats basic respect like a suggestion, everything else breaks. Pay attention to the numbers. In relationships and in spreadsheets, math tells a story. If it doesn't add up, it's not a phase. Plan your exits while you're calm. I lined up the job, the apartment, the logistics. When it was time, I didn't flail. I moved. Choose yourself without becoming cruel. I didn't torch her job, didn't drag her online, didn't weaponize the kids. I just told the truth and walked away. Sometimes the best revenge is a better life. Not a speech, not a scene. A sunrise on the balcony, a team that respects you, kids who exhale when they walk in the door. One Saturday, months in, we ate pancakes outside. The ocean threw diamonds across the water. Logan asked if I'd ever go back. "Back to what?" I said. "We're home." He nodded and passed the syrup. Harper rolled her eyes at one of my dad jokes, then laughed anyway. We watched the horizon in comfortable silence. Marta kept posting cryptic quotes online. I didn't read them. Greg faded into the background of his own choices. I wished them both exactly what they'd earned. Me? I set an alarm for 6:10 the next morning, not because I had to, but because I wanted to watch the city wake up from that balcony. I brewed strong coffee that did not need anyone's approval. I stood there in the quiet and told myself the truth out loud. I chose well. And for the first time in a long time, that felt simple. Thanks for watching Pia's like and subscriber.